Enthusiastic.
Growing.
Technician shortage.
Progressing.
Outdated.
Evolving.
Flux.
Pragmatic.
Exciting.
Tight-knit.
One word can say a lot. I asked a few familiar faces to describe the fleet industry in just a single word. Okay, two were hyphenated, but their answers reveal the people, challenges, and passion driving fleet forward every day. Here's what they had to say.
We are in a state of flux. For several years now, we've talked about the perfect storm and brain drain, right? We've had baby boomers leaving, some baby boomers being forced to come back, right? Xers are assuming leadership, millennials are assuming leadership. Many folks are coming over from tangent and adjacent industries and don't have that fleet background. Because of the technician shortages and the parts technician shortages, you're seeing this move from predominantly in-house to predominantly outsourced, or even traditional in-house shops the percentage of outsourcing work that they're doing has gone way up. The EVs were all the talk for many years, and they're still the talk, but it's no longer the number one thing for today anyway. It might change again in a few weeks, but we are in this state of flux. What the issues are, what the hottest topic is, doesn't last weeks and months and years the way it used to. There's this, I'm like whack-a-mole feel to it, right?
Technician shortage. And that's why the Hourglass Foundation is helping underserved students through scholarship opportunities that support educational endeavors in automotive technology and other blue-collar skilled trades. So if you'd like to get involved in our We Are One movement, make a donation at thehourglassfoundation.org.
One word I would use to describe the fleet industry is evolving and growing, especially for me. Fleet is pretty new to me in my career, so I'm definitely evolving and learning as much as possible, especially soaking it up from all these events. And I think the fleets are changing, whether it's from vans to mid-sized trucks or full-size trucks, just trying to find the best solution for that specific fleet.
I would say enthusiastic. I think that one of the things that excites me about the fleet industry is that people are really embracing technology, and fleet managers are people who get shit done. And I think that there's just enthusiasm in fleet in general to really embrace technology that's coming in so that they can operate their fleets better and serve the communities better. So yeah, enthusiasm is the word I would pick.
The one word I would use to describe is progressing, because it's something that always needs to happen, but it's not something that can happen, exponentially like this. It has to be steady. And I think that something I've seen over the past few years and up to now is this really steady progression, whether that's technology or insurance, vehicles, things like that. There's always this movement forward. There never really seems to be a stagnancy or a step backwards. So it's really, I think progression is the word I would use.
My ruffled feathers, I was here 15 years ago when I worked for Fleet, and it's outdated. Outdated is a hard word, but people have great knowledge and seniority, and they've been doing it for a long time if you look at the tenure, but things are changing, and what used to be considered the norm 15 years ago is not that far off. And I know I worked for Fleet before. We still have partnerships with fleet companies, but outdated feels like why I said people need to be open-minded, because I learned ChatGPT from my teenage kids because they are well ahead of us. How do we catch up to what the next generation wants if we've been doing it for 30 years and we don't have an open mind?
I would say evolving. And it's evolving because it realizes that when you keep your drivers safe, when you reduce fuel usage, when you help, when you have a solution that's going to help maintain the vehicles, the company wins. So the companies are starting to evolve into, realizing the importance of safety, the importance of fuel usage, especially with high prices, especially with high insurance rates. We'll get customers that are coming into us and, their insurance rates have gone up because they've been in a number of collisions. And now they have to act to reduce the collisions, reduce the insurance rates, keep their drivers safe, keep everyone on the road safe. So evolving is the word I would use.
You have to be pragmatic. You have to be able to You have to be able to make the most out of what you have in the market to realize the utmost value for your drivers and for your company. In the sense of, as mentioned, three things: flexibility, value, simplicity. If you're able to kind of navigate through these three, being able to maximize the value that you get from every pillar while keeping things simple, that's basically what puts you ahead of others potentially.
It's exciting, right? It's absolutely exciting from a technology point of view, right? We're always being challenged, right? And it's exciting. It's not static.
Tight knit, because we see people both in the vendor world and in the fleet world. People change roles, people change jobs, but they stay in the industry. It's like I was working at this company as the fleet director, now I'm here as the senior fleet manager. Or somebody was working at one vendor, they moved to another vendor, but they stay in the industry. And you see people that, I was just talking to a guy yesterday that he started out as a tech wrenching on trucks. Then he became the shop manager. Then he became the regional manager. Now he's the entire fleet manager, but he stayed in the industry. And I think it's like, I don't know many people that in grade school, they're like, when I get big, I'm gonna be a fleet manager. But it just happens. And once it happens, you're stuck here.